there is a rule on Overpass, okay? If you want to actually put some A pressure and go back to B, you want to clean that area, always. Hello guys, it's shox. So as I already told you in a previous video for ZOWIE, we're gonna check today some runs between TYLOO and Virtus.pro, which was like the opening matchup here in IEM Cologne. I hope it's gonna help you. Let's jump directly into the game and let's see actually what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we're on Overpass. Overpass is back. I'm happy, honestly. I didn't really like Anubis, and I think Overpass is such a good map because there's some mind games to do on it, alright. So, TYLOO lost the pistol, something common on Overpass on city side, because you can block your enemy with a lot of smokes. Why are they gonna lose that run? For multiple reasons. Let me show you first the roads. So, T's are coming. Yamyong is flashing, but on that flash, attacker is not swinging deep. Okay, he's staying pillar. Then Yamyong is smoking short, but Mercury dies. Alright. Then Yamyong flashing again, but attacker fighting short, and Moziyu fighting too late. So what's happening? Because the rest of the run for TYLOO was really nice. They were 4 on B, they still have 1 smoke, 2 flash, 3 flash even. It should be a win run. Okay. So, different stuff. The thing is, either you actually don't want to really block short, because you always prefer to block a monster because it's easier for the cities to defend, okay? While if you smoke short, they can still go monster, and smoking short won't give you that much an advantage, okay? But smoking monster, you can play monster, you can have a lot of crossfire with pillar, in the water, barrel, so you want to block monster and not short. That's the first thing. The second thing is actually there was a bit of miscommunication because Mercury is fighting short while Yamyong is smoking short. If we block them short, we don't want to give them a kill, a duel like this, you know. So this is another problem of communication. I will give you like 2 options, really simple. On Overpass, it's either you block monster with a smoke and you are really strong monster, like 1 close, 1 wood, 1 pillar and 1 close short. And you are 4 like that. This is really strong. And you can also have someone ready to flash. Either you defend more towards the water side, so in the water, deep, maybe close shot. And in that scenario, what you're gonna do is you're gonna smoke just here. You want to smoke exactly here between the pillar and the barrel, which will allow you to play behind the smoke here, and the T's have to cross it, which is really uncomfortable for them. Remember these 2 setups. When you're 4 on B, it's really strong. So here, what I wanted to show you, it's a really good defense from TYLOO, is when you don't have any nades, just like that. So you can't block more that area, and because you don't have nades, you can't play really like in the water. You need to have smokes and molly, so you can actually counter nades, win sometimes, and play in the water with the smoke I just explained to you towards that area, which is really strong. Without any nades, you can't really play into that area. It will be too hard when the T is gonna execute. So what you want to do is to play 2 on Volcano like that, 1 being anti-flash, 1 making sure if they cross the smoke he is ready to fight, and this is a really strong setup when you don't have any more choice because you are lacking of utilities. Okay, so in that scenario, then the players are 3A. When you are 3A, what you want to do is to have 1 guy aggressive. So here is Mercury. He's not gonna have a good timing. If you want to show, if I can show you, look, it's a bit sad. You see, it's a bit sad because it's 25 seconds and he's trying to cross the smoke, and he kinda lost himself in the smoke and he just appears in front of the T's. So it's a bit sad, but it was a really nice run from TYLOO. The fact that when you are 3A, you always want to have 1 guy like a bit close to the enemy. I would say you like more aggressive. Why you want 1 guy more aggressive? because he can actually surprise the enemy, he can make some plays, he can have some information. If they goes B, he can have a nice timing on the flank, and if he dies, it's okay because there is still 2 guys behind. So that's fine to play aggressive when you have 2 guys behind on A side, right? You don't want to play that much aggressive if you don't have your rotation coming back. Here's gonna be a nice setup that I like from TYLOO. Let me show you. First, we're gonna break the door. Okay, we're breaking the door. This is really important. Okay, we have one guy playing in lower, which is Mercury, who is gonna smoke the lower, and on B, they're gonna do a run boost, just like that. Perfect. So Electronic is not looking at, but why do you want to do a run boost here? It's very nice. It's because actually by run boosting yourself, it means that you can actually save 1 smoke. Let me explain you why. Basically, as soon as you smoke, the tears will actually check the right corner if you are on the right, because it's smoked, they didn't have the vision, so you can be there. If you don't smoke, then they will think that if you have the vision, I didn't see anyone crossing on the right, so it means you just have to focus on the left. Okay, so it gives an advantage by run boosting that the teams might not check you, and during all that time you are also not smoking, so you are saving a smoke that can be really precious for the rest of the run. Now if we look at the setup from the door, you want to break the door, you smoke the connector, which allows you play aggressive to have some information. Then you have the guy from the B side who can flash just like that, up, and that pops in front of the door, that we are not blind, and will flash like all the enemies trying to go too short. Okay, so this is a trick that is really nice, breaking the door, having one guy here smoking to make sure no one is, if someone started lower, he's not gonna get killed, and picking on the flash to clear the short. So these 2 things, the monster setup by the run boost and the door trick, you can do either run boost or either the door tricks. I think that's which is really mind game from TYLOO here, is since they are doing tricks here, Electronic went close, so here's information. You have a smoke lower, you hear a flash short, okay, and you don't see a monster smoke. It means the information given by the cities is that they are strong mid-map, they are strong short, they are fighting short towards lower, and they are not smoking monster, which means I can go, which means I can sneak, because they are strong in that area and monster is clean. And it might be actually something that TYLOO thought about. Yes, Counter-Strike Tier 1 is actually a lot of mind games and a lot of tactics. Which is the saddest thing is actually they're gonna lose that run, yes, in 5v4, which was really nice against Tech9, Deagle and 1 and 2 smoke. Why are they gonna lose that run? So here, do you see that setup? That setup, trust me, you don't want to have that setup. This is totally something forbidden, okay? You always want to have at least one guy in the water, especially when you still have smoke. Because what? Because exactly what I explained to you before, by playing in that area, you can have some lineups from here when you can block that area with a smoke, and you can play totally in the water behind the smoke, which is really powerful. Plus, having one guy always in the water will always give you the opportunity to win sometimes, to get some kills, and to don't allow this area to the teams. Okay, by playing totally retake, it's really hard to fight all these angles which are more T-sided and not CT-sided, so you want to avoid it as much as possible. Having one guy here, it's okay. 2 is just too hard, because what's gonna happen is actually you're gonna have some fights that are hard to win, and you are giving so many space to the teams, which means as soon as they're gonna have the first kill, then they can just get the water and they can have all that space. And as soon as the teams have all that space, it's really hard for the cities to retake everything here. Alright, because there is a lot of off-angle, you need a lot of money, flash, and it's a bit tricky, it's hard. So remember, you can play retake on B, but how do you play retake on B in Overpass? is one guy towards that area, sorry, and one guy in the water. And if you have the smoke to counter smoke here to play behind, that's perfect. Alright, so here we're in a run which is like 4v4 already. There was some battle between A because VP was pushing. TYLOO is getting 1 kill. Alright, and now it's a 4v4. And they are gonna go back to B. So, this is a mistake from TYLOO because there is a rule on Overpass. Okay, if you want to actually put some A pressure and go back to B, which is a really strong round on Overpass, really strong round on T side. But there is one rule: if you want to do that, you want to clean that area always, because a lot of cities are playing there, and if a city plays there, it will allow the cities, as you can see here on the minimap, to go and play 3B. Why can they be 3B? Because here IC got a lot of information that even if they go back to A, even if he dies, because Overpass is such a long map that they will have the time to rotate and be on time to fight. Okay, so having that one guy here means they can play 3B. So one important rule: if you want to start on A, make some noise, go back to B, always clean that area. This is #1 rule. Alright guys, that's it for me. I tried to show you some good stuff. I hope it was understandable and I hope it's gonna help you. Let me know in the comments if it actually helped you, if you understand, if you like it, and if you want more of these videos and more teams for me to analyze to help you improve on Counter-Strike.